The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final 2 bring us as we're off in Week 9? That's fielded in the end zone. And they'll have excellent field position to begin this drive as he's all the way up to midfield at the 50.
Well, that return gives them a golden opportunity to go out in front. How will the defense respond after giving up that type of a return?
Across midfield and down into Houston territory. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Here's Royce Freeman, the first carry for the rookie. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first. Out of the gun, Boykin. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. Solid gain of 18 yards and a Denver first down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
I used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this, when he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
Come on, let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38!
On first down, Boykin. Catch here, left side, Thomas. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
That's a good-looking play to me. The big tight end on a crossing route coming underneath. Sometimes he can gain some serious momentum going forward, can he?
Yeah, he can indeed, and pretty well executed there. Broncos with their first trip to the red zone thus far. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Let's go! Grand 38!
Here is Boykin. Sliding out of the pocket. Keeps himself upright. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. On 2nd down, it's Boykin. Escaping the pressure right. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Flex round! Flex round!
Boykin. Eluding the pressure right. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by K'Von Webster. The Red Sea parts, and there he goes. And they will score a pick six for the Texans TD. Well, it was third down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field. They're
going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that makes the score 7-0. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And, you know, certainly a lot of football left to be played. We're not into December yet, but right now where we stand, they're first place in their division. Looking good, looking to be a threat come January.
And let's think about what every team has in their goals, all right? Number one goal is what? Make the playoffs. Number two goal is win your division. Number three goal, and the biggest goal, I think, is to be the highest seed possible that you can be heading into the playoffs so that you can grab as many home games as possible to try and get you to the Super Bowl.
And right now fighting for every win possible to try to at least secure home field for the wild card and or divisional round. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
Now Boykin on second down. And that is incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. And it'll bring up third down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete.
Let's go. White 90. White 90.
On third down, Boykin. And he finds Julius Thomas. They convert on third with a gain of 22.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, he's got some breathing room. And all the way home for a Broncos score. A big play there with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Broncos are an extra point away from tying the football game. Extra point from McManus is good. And we are tied at 7. So a tie ball game here as the kick's away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now a first carry for Deontay Foreman, who was lost to the Achilles injury last year. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive, 14 yards.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Now Watson. And this one complete to Will Fuller. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
Of course, the catch was nice, but how about what happened after? Able to stay on his feet and gain all that additional yardage. So many of these slot guys, I think, have running back in their background.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And a loose football. But I think a Texan player was able to get his hands on it, and they will indeed hold on to the ball and the possession. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And this one's going to go the wrong way. Losing yardage back at the 42. That'll set them back with a loss of 3 on the play. And it'll be 3rd and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. He finds his target, Fuller. And he lost the football. The Broncos say they have it. They do. Back alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2. They've got it 1st and 10 following the fumble recovery. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Maybe a good spot to take a shot. Here's 2nd and a yard from the 34.
Here we go. What? London. What? London. They're running it. Flex round. Flex round.
On 2nd down, here's Boykin. Out to his left. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete. So he's 3 for 7 throwing the football right now. Not an awful start, but also not the sharpest of starts.
No, I would agree with that. But if you're a confident quarterback and to play that position you have to be, you just act like there's something wrong with the wind currents or something wrong with the ball. It is not you. Keep throwing. That timing usually develops.
On 3rd down, it's Lindsey. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Here we go. Grand 38.
Back to the ground, this time with Freeman. Finding some room at midfield. And finally marked down at the 42-yard line. That good for 22 and a 1st down.
Outside handoff to the right side. If you're a running back, you love getting the ball early so you have vision to see what's happening in front of you.
Right tackle likes that call. Big play for him. But don't forget about the guys you always tell me on the backside sealing off.
When they talk about cutoff blocks, making sure no one can leak from the backside that can run a play down.
And nobody leaked. Big play. So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory at the 42-yard line.
Ohio. 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 Ohio.
From the gun, it's Boykin. Steps away to his left. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
Man, defensively, that hurts. They got him out of his rhythm. They had him hemmed in, but somehow he was able to tuck it away and get away for a gain.
Boykin on 1st down. Flushed out right. That is caught at the 7. And they do get him down, but not before he's able to slip it inside the 5-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards. From the shotgun, Boykin. Flush to his right, toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. Defensively, Charles, they continue to really limit this offense as far as yardage goes.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've been assignment sound, staying in their lanes, keeping proper leverage, and communicating well, too.
Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. He'll get it up the middle. Absolutely nobody fooled there. He's going nowhere fast as he stopped behind the line of scrimmage. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a 3rd down. They've been denied touchdowns in the red zone twice already. Here comes 3rd and goal. Now Boykin. And this is going to be incomplete.
He's thrown 1 interception already, and that doesn't necessarily mean the rest of the game is going to go like that. But it does seem that he's a little bit off in his approach to this one.
Yeah, it does, and that was a risky throw right there.
Got to be careful about taking care of the ball, making sure you get back within yourself. I mean, those mechanics that they work on all the time, they're there for a reason. Kind of get back to those and maybe tamp it down a little bit.
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Watson will bring up the Texans here, 1st and 10 at the 40. Faking the give, now Watson. And they've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a 1st down. From their own 40 to the other 40. The gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And a short gain there down to the 37-yard line. J.J. Watt the one that gets him down.
J.J. Watt makes another tackle there, and it's for a minimal gain. And let's face it, if that's all you're going to get running the ball, you're not going to have much success against him and his team.
Or, yeah, you better find a way to go around J.J. Watt, which isn't easy to do.
It's really not, because you got to try everything. Can you go around him? Can you go by him? Can you influence him to get him out of position so maybe you can wall him off? He's a really sharp, intelligent player, as well as a physical specimen.
2 minutes to go here in the 1st half. Back to Denver right after this. Here's Watson now on 2nd down. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. He was trying to hit Thomas that time. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. Now they'll run it on the toss. And now running right through it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. That play going for 16 yards to start the drive. First down. We've seen him break off a big run already in this game, and for a second, that one looked like it might be another.
Yeah, I think that any defense would say, look, we can't let him get to the second level because sometimes he'll break off the big run on his own, but oftentimes you get additional blocking at the second level, which gets you deeper into the secondary.
So they go from one 42-yard line to the other as they come up now 1st and 10.
Let's go! Grand 38! Grand 38! Cut!
Now a play fake here on first down. Finds Jake Butt over the middle. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him.
Flex round! Flex round! Flex round! Flex round!
Now from the red zone, Boykin on first. This is caught. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jake Butt, his second touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead.
Brandon, my man, just one sentence for that one. Clinic.
And that's what they've done. They lead the league in points per game this season, but it's been quick strike ability as we saw on that drive.
I think they're actually intimidating defenses because they're back on their heels right away, wondering where it's going to come from, how they're going to hit them. This group is well-organized, well-coached, and extremely confident in what they do.
That's fielded in the end zone. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. And now out comes Houston. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk is a big decision here.
And the Broncos get there and take him down. Shaquille Barrett in there to bring him down for a loss of 7.
I know there'll be a little bit of criticism there because they went right back to the air after the huge pickup and ended up getting sacked. That's often a play that you make. You feel like you've got momentum on your side.
Unfortunately, the O-line failed to hold up to try to keep that momentum going. To throw is Watson. Going deep for Hopkins. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Justin Simmons. And he's given his guys a shot for late points as they will take over in range for a field goal or maybe more. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Ohio! Ohio!
After the interception, here's Boykin. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. It'll be spotted on the right hash. A 52-yard attempt. And he hits the upright, but it caroms in anyway. Boy, plenty of distance there as he banks it in. So we're at halftime here in Denver with the Broncos leading this one. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. And as we see so frequently here in Colorado, that one over the end line, so it'll come out to the 25. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. Second and 6, just inside the 30.
Hey, green the line! Green the line! Tiger, tiger, tiger!
To throw on second is Watson. And that is incomplete. Will Fuller was the intended target. And that'll make it third down.
My man's getting a little loose with the football there, right? Interception before, almost had one here. He's got to start taking better care of it.
Yeah, really should have been back-to-back drives with interceptions. He's lucky there. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
Richmond!
Throwing on third down, Watson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Fuller. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up fourth. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on fourth down. Here's Watson on the sneak. And this will depend on the mark. I'm not sure he pushed the line forward. And indeed, he did not. They stop him. But down 2 scores, I guess they felt like they needed to go for it. They must have thought they had a play to dial up that they could get it. Well, it didn't work out.
They must have thought, as you pointed out, they had a play. And they were probably looking at the number of possessions that they thought were left in the game. And down 2 scores, they must have felt like they couldn't risk not taking a shot here and giving up that chance.
And all the way home for a Broncos score. A great play there. His second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Broncos will extend their lead. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
Now McManus on to kick this one off. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes the Houston offense as they get set to take over here. And last time this unit was out here, costly turnover, and then that turned into 6 points. They've got to make amends.
And how many times have we sat in meetings with coaches and they use the term complementary football? Offense take care of the defense, defense take care of the offense. That didn't happen on the last possession. This is a chance for them to pick themselves back up and help their team.
Yeah, we'll see if they can recoup and recover.
If they want to start getting back into this game, it behooves them to get better on first down.
Yeah, certainly not what they were looking for there out of the opening play of this drive. The last play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26. Watson, off play action. He sets to fire deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man. And you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. Here's Watson on third down. Oh, look at Thomas wide open. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards. Now a first down throw. Watson. Throw left side complete. It's Fuller. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. He got 29 yards that time.
So how do you beat man coverage? First of all, you want to be a superior receiver, but you know something, that guy who's covering you, he's usually pretty good too. So the corner route is usually a great spot to get it done.
Watson now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Now Foreman. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Come back, come back.
On 2nd down, here's Watson. Escaping the pressure right. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. A great effort there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans get a bit closer. So he scrambled right, but was able to look back toward the middle of the end zone to find the target.
As you know, in this game, sometimes you just have to know when to break the rules, because we all know most guys throwing the football are taught never throw back into the middle of the field on a scramble. He did it and got away with it for a touchdown.
Instinct sometimes, right? They just take over.
Instinct and vision. Sometimes you just see people who are open, you're able to get it to them.
And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. This is sort of what you would call a put-away drive, isn't it? They score here, especially a touchdown. It's almost out of reach.
It certainly feels that way, and I think that they're going to call their plays accordingly, because what you really want to do, even though you know the scoreboard is still up there and the game's going to go on, you feel like you can take the spirit away from another team, that their drive and will to come back and win can be taken with another score right here.
Still 3rd quarter, but you just get that feel.
Yeah, they're teetering right there on the brink, aren't they?
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. So the opening play of the drive goes backwards. Now they'll come up on 2nd and 12.
Come on, let's go.
Boykin. Shedding through the defense, and he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Give him 7 there on the tuck and run, and they're in better shape now for 3rd.
Okay, he's not going to get the first down, but this is still a nice job of buying some time and then running to get to the sideline and get out of bounds and avoid the big hit.
The Broncos on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90. Flex round. Flex round.
Out of the gun, Boykin. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44. And what a return as he brings this all the way back down to the 20-yard line.
And you can't say enough about our man making the interception right there, Brandon. It's his 12th year in the league, and you told me before the game that he still got it, and he does. What a play that was to come away with the football.
Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. 1st and 10 right at the 20. And he will not make it back to the line of scrimmage as he's going to be taken down. Von Miller in there to get him, and that's sack number 8 for him on the year. After the sack, here's 2nd and 11. A shotgun snap for Watson. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. Brandon Marshall, the linebacker, able to make the play defensively. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with 3rd down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah. They
got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. To throw is Watson. To throw on third down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And he takes it down to the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
Watson now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. First and 10. Watson now to throw. And this will be a touchdown. Deshaun Watson with now his second touchdown of this third quarter. And the Texans use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and that will get him one closer. Fairbairn now to kick this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. Now they'll run it on the toss. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Come on, let's go. White 90. White 90.
Welcome back now to Denver. It's Bronco football, and they also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth.
Let's go. White.
Off the play fake, Boykin. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Broncos on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 9.
Let's go. White 90. White 90. Flex round. Flex round.
Now it's Boykin. Eluding the pressure right. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
And he'll be taken down across the 50 at the 45 in enemy territory. Another nice gain, 16 yards there, and a first down again. So after 2 first downs, they get another here. 1st and 10 at the 45.
Ohio. Ohio. Go ahead. Go, 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 go.
Throwing here, Boykin on first. And his throw is incomplete. What a difference a week makes. Last week, he hit on over 80% of his passes. This week, he's down under 50%. What do you see as the difference?
Well, I think we're used to seeing a drop. If someone's over 80%, they're not going to hold that number, not in this league. But a drop under 50%, that just tells me that the defense, they spent a lot of extra time on game films and came up with a really good plan to try and chip away at his timing.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
Ohio!
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off by Andre Howe. And he'll take it across midfield to the 46-yard line. A critical error there in a tight game to the 4th.
All you talk about is taking care of the football, and especially with a lead here in the 4th quarter. Turning it over, now the door is open for the opposition.
Just in general, when you're passing in the 4th quarter with a lead, no matter at what point, you got to be super careful.
Got to be careful, and sometimes you can be so careful that you end up running yourself into an error.
After the interception, here's Watson. His throw incomplete.
Personally, I think they've got to go somewhere else with the football. They've got to bracket it out there in double coverage. Makes it hard to fit it in time after time.
It would have had to have been an absolutely perfect pass and not good enough. So they'll come up after the incompletion for 2nd down. Throwing again is Watson. Flushed out right. And it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
The Texans on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 10.
Target. Richmond. Target. Come back.
Out of the gun, Watson. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Brandon Marshall. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
All right, Brandon. Normally when you hear about guys making 2 interceptions in the game, you're thinking must be a free safety, maybe a corner. How about getting 2 picks out of one of your linebackers? Again, he's just in the right place at the right time. And that's another great play to come away with the football.
And they'll go with a ground attack here. And down to the 36-yard line here. A nice run there, 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd down. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Now Boyka on 2nd down. Flush to his right. He'll let this thing go for Sanders. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up 3rd. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful.
Here we go. Brand 38.
On 3rd down, that's Lindsey. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
The Bronco first down there, 12 yards on the play. Boykin on 1st and 10. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Holmes. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Andre Holmes, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Broncos will add on to their lead. Now McManus for the extra point. McManus's point after is good. And the lead now stands at 13. Now McManus on to kick this one off. That'll be taken in the end zone. Accelerating, and off he goes. Touchdown, Houston. Kiki QT, 105 yards. And the Texans have cut it to within a score. And that big 4th quarter return, Charles, makes this a 1-score game.
And now it all comes down to philosophy. All right, they just had a big return for a touchdown, so the momentum is high. Do you want to ride that and go for 2? Or do you just go ahead and kick the extra point and come back and rely on your defense?
This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So the Broncos coming out now. And that last touchdown drive they had very balanced. How key is that balance?
It's huge because most of the time when we talk about balance is run, pass, almost 50-50. But most of the times when you talk to offensive coaches, they say balance is we do what we want when we want to. And that means that they're ahead of the defense, keeping them on their heels.
Yeah, they imposed their will on that last one. Wide open receiver complete. And he's brought down after a very nice gain. A really nice gain of 25 yards. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll be brought down. Oh, that's a face mask. Certainly looked like it. Indeed, here come the flags. Trailing in the 4th, this close of a game, that's a penalty you just can't afford.
It's an absolute killer, and it's one that drives coaches and teammates insane.
And now it's 1st and 10. A big mistake, especially when you factor in the personal foul yardage. After the penalty, here's Freeman. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. 2nd and 12, and you'd have to assume another all-out effort to stop the run is coming. On 2nd down, here's Boykin. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And they went for a big play through the air on 2nd down. Couldn't connect. Now it's 3rd.
Had the right idea there, trying to throw it to the sideline, but he led him just a little bit too much, trying to get it out to his receiver. Ends up falling to the ground, incomplete.
Now this is a big 3rd down, and you'd have to think we'd see a timeout right away if they can't stop him here. Throwing now is Boykin. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And McManus able to put it through, and that will make this a 9-point lead. So that's a big one. Obviously, Charles makes it a 2-score game. His third field goal of the game, able to knock it through.
Yeah, not exactly free and clear yet, but as a defense, you get to play a little bit looser, don't you? Because you do now have a little bit of a margin of error, don't you?
After splitting the uprights, McManus to kick it away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. The Texans offense now, they get set to head back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. The catch made by DeAndre Hopkins. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. A good pickup there at 22. Watson. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down. Watson now to throw. He's going to let it fly. And, not only did he drop it, he dropped it in the end zone.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, 4th quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. The Texans on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. Now Watson. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And this is caught. Demaryius Thomas. And he will have a 1st down here at about the 40. They keep the game alive, at least for the moment, as it's a 1st down. Here's Watson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Fair to say the secondary play, whichever side you're on, hasn't really been a glowing exhibition so far, but a nice job there to prevent a long completion.
I agree with you, but at some point, someone had to make a play and try and stop this exhibition of almost speed racing that we've been watching, huh?
Yeah, it has been quarterback and receiver dominated. Now it's Watson. And this is intercepted. And that's... Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And he's able to take this one back to the 36-yard line. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So for the Broncos, the train just keeps rolling 9-0 now to start this campaign. And they'll be able to enjoy this one through the bye week before they get back at it again.